Okay, so now that threads are pretty much the thing that comes out that's trying to replace Twitter, the question is, should you care about threads? And should you move on your game account, game brand onto the threads? And the short answer is, if you have Instagram, then yes, you should probably move on to threads and make an account there, because it is basically Instagram's platform, well, Meta's platform. You keep the same username onto threads, and the same moderation policy is pretty much applied onto the threads as well, because it's basically using the same moderation engine that Instagram is using. So there are no side effects, there are no disadvantages to opening up a Threads account if you already have an Instagram account. Should you make an Instagram account to make Threads? Well, that's debatable. If you haven't built up an audience on Instagram already with your game account, and you want to create Threads just to be on Threads, that could be a strategy, and then focus on Threads more and then don't really do too much on Instagram. But the biggest advantage is, if you already have a following on Instagram, you carry over all of that following onto Threads automatically. You can choose to follow and transfer over your whole social graph, which is very, very helpful to build your initial following. Now, why would you care about Threads, right? Why is Threads important? Is because of the bigger picture. So Meta has promised that they will move to and integrate with ActivityPub. And ActivityPub is an engine that is going to enable to be able to be read and written and kind of cross communicating between the instances of different federated social networks. So for example, Mastodon would be able to interact and post cross platform with Threads one day eventually, and any other decentralized platform or federated platform moving forward. Now, is Threads going to be the biggest platform in the ActivityPub engine that they're going to be joining? Probably, because they already have 100 million users. So that is a good start. Now, do you want to be on Threads on your personal account or on your private account or your developer account? That is your choice. You don't have to. You can always join Mastodon. You can always join another instance and then interact with people there and respect their policies over there. One thing that I wanted to also note is that people have focused a lot on the data collection side of things of Threads as an app, and actually that is completely what you shouldn't focus on, because if you already have an Instagram account, all of those data collection policies are exactly the same on Instagram as well. So if you already have Instagram, there is zero reason for you not to have Threads as well, because it is pretty much the same company and pretty much the same data handling policy. So yeah, and if you do not want to give your data to Meta and to Threads, then you shouldn't have Instagram, Facebook, and Threads at all to begin with. So that's probably the best choice for you if you care about these things. So yeah, these are just a few thoughts on Threads right now. I personally have moved my game, Clash Mini, onto the Threads. I opened up an account. I like the interaction, even though it's pretty sparse right now. People are generally focused on the main page, which is just full of brands that are pretty much spamming the main feed, which is very, very hard to read, and it's more like consumer focused. So, just watching the memes. But Adam Mosseri did say, the CEO of Instagram, he did say that the following feed is coming. So once you start following people, you can go to the following feed and see only your friends and the people that you follow posts, which is going to improve things much, much more. Then later they have talked about the web app and all these kind of things. So I think Threads is on a good trajectory to replace Twitter, because I personally do not see Twitter getting its act together anytime soon, in terms of controlling the amount of tweets you see, or the tools, or subscription fees, and monetization, and long-term prospect of that company doesn't look good. Should you delete Twitter and move to Threads? Not yet. Keep that just in your pocket for later. I don't think anybody's in a hurry to just delete Twitter, but if Threads continues like this, in 3 to 6 months from now, then we have a real good competitor to Twitter, and we will just see how useful it is going to be for brands and kind of gaming scene overall to be there, or if they're going to remain on Twitter and just use that. So yeah, that's my kind of like just a few minutes of rambling talking about Threads. Hope it is helpful. Let me know in the comments below if you have any further questions.